Buffalo main event. Bob Gaughan along with Brad Ryder. And coming up on today's show, Brad and I will discuss the NFL playoffs, the chances of Brian Campbell being a Sabre next year, and we'll talk with Mark Gaughan of the Buffalo News.
How'd you get him?
I tell you, it was tough about the NFL Hall of Fame. But first, Brad, we start off with the Buffalo Sabres. They have now lost 9 in a row. You said don't lose 3. They've lost 9, and it begs the question, is this even a playoff team?
Well, here's the good news. They have picked up points along the way, and I've liked a lot of what I've seen. Lindy Ruff has been taking some heat for saying, I like the effort. I'm not blaming anybody. We're just not finishing. That's all it is. At some point, it's going to have to end, and they're going to have to put the puck in the net. I've liked how they've played lately, not at the beginning of this stretch, but since we last had a show, the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah.
I've liked how they've played against some of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. Jersey twice, Ottawa as well. Shootouts, I don't know why they can't score in the shootout. Just think of what it looked like. They can't score.
No, they can't score in a shootout because they can't score in a game.
Because they can't score. But remember last year when Lindy Ruff would put together his little shootout team, there were so many options. It was like, wow, I wish we could use 5 or 6 players. Now it's like, can we just use 1? I mean, it's a difficult job.
With this 9-game losing streak, they've scored 15 goals in 9 games. You're not going to win. You're not going to win. So why can't you score in the shootout? You can't score. One thing that they have in the last couple of games, I like the way Clark MacArthur has played. Mm-hmm. I like the way sometimes, even a guy like Coletta has come up. Well, they have to make a decision, I think, in the next month in terms of trading deadline. If you are going to keep a guy like MacArthur up here, is it smart to maybe lose Max Afinogenov? Is it smart to maybe trade a Kodalik? Trade those 2 guys. Are you going for it? How good are you? And the way it looks right now, you're closer to last place than you are first place. You're only 5 points out of last place. What a hell of a thing that would be, huh? To win the President's Cup trophy and then be last place in your conference. There's a real possibility of that.
Yeah, I don't even think about first place, though. I think about 8th place or 7th or that vicinity. Get me to the playoffs and we'll talk. It's a team that's got that kind of experience. It's a head coach that's got that experience. It's a goaltender now that's got that experience. This is not a team that people are going to want to face. We are so far away from the end of the season, and things are going to turn around, at least to a certain extent. They're digging themselves a hole right now, but luckily they have grabbed 4 points over the course of this stretch by going to overtime and shootouts. I don't envision them being a last-place team. I still think, yes, it is, in fact, a playoff.
I'm always of the opinion that either you go for it all because you have a chance to win Stanley Cup, or you maybe regroup and reload or rebuild, whichever way you want to say it.
Sure.
And I think they're closer to doing that, rebuilding, than they are of going for it at the trading deadline. And I think that's what, the hierarchy's got to make those decisions.
I don't think they look at it the same way as you do, though. I don't think it's go for it all or go for nothing.
Yeah.
I think it's go for 7th place and try to win a playoff series.
I hate going for 7th place.
That's what's going to happen.
Next subject is the Buffalo Bills. They have made 3 promotions. Russ Brandon has been promoted. John Guy and Tom Modrak have been promoted. No new people have come into the organization, though. This is kind of what we talked about happening the last couple of weeks. Are you happy with what the Bills have done restructuring their front office?
Oh, I couldn't be more thrilled. I mean, what an exciting day in Buffalo Bills history when they're going to go in and change signs on people's doors, change their little name tags on their desks, they got to print up new business cards. I mean, really, look at the franchise. No, I mean, I'm not excited. I'm not angry. It's exactly what I expected. They've gone the last 2 years without a general manager. Marv Levy was so in name alone, and they'll continue without a general manager.
But at least Marv Levy had some experience when it came to personnel decisions. He had some experience.
He wasn't making them.
No, but I mean, he had experience in the past about having players in these particular situations. I don't want Russ Brandon doing anything when it comes to draft, personnel, anything. What most GMs do. Most GMs are football guys.
Right.
The Bills quasi-GM is not going to be a football guy.
What are they calling him? COO or something?
Chief Operating Officer of Football Operations, something like that.
Right.
But he has no football knowledge. And again, I'm wondering, is this the cheap way out?
Yes.
Did the Bills go? They went the cheap. I hate going the cheap way out. I hate being the Pittsburgh Pirates. I hate being the Kansas City Royals. And that's what you are.
Are you used to it at this point?
No, I never get used to being the Pittsburgh Pirates. I never get used to that. I never want to get used to being that way. And that's the way they are.
That's where you live. Welcome to Buffalo. Welcome to Orchard Park. That's the deal. There's not a GM. There's not going to be a GM. Good news is there wasn't one the last couple of years either.
So when it comes to promoting the offensive coordinator, it's going to be Turk Shannon. Why? Because he's the best candidate, or is it because it's the cheap way out?
No, because he already lives in Orchard Park.
That's horrible. Why do we have to have these decisions just because they're the cheap way out? The last subject in the first segment, Brad, is the NFL playoffs. They're down to the Final Four. Does anyone have a chance of knocking off the New England Patriots?
No. Back to you. No, the Patriots are...
I think if San Diego was healthy, they don't have a healthy Rivers, they don't have a healthy Tomlinson, they don't have a healthy Gates. If they were healthy, I think they're a much better team than the team that lost to them in the regular season.
That's right.
And they would have a chance. I don't think they have any chance because of their injuries coming up this Sunday.
No, I don't think. And the NFC, I mean, those teams are no match for either of the AFC teams.
Now, I disagree with that. The Giants played them really tough, in the last game of the regular season.
Right.
And I think Green Bay has, what do you need to beat New England? You need to have a great secondary so you can go one-on-one with the
right.
Randy Moss and just take your chances. And you need a good pass rush. Well, I think both of those teams, particularly Green Bay, they got the great secondary, and they got KGB, they got Campman. I think they could put a pass rush. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying that I would predict it to happen. But at least it seems to me like they have the remedy to beat New England.
Yeah. That's great in theory. This Patriots team cares right now. You're right. The Giants hung with them late in the year, the final week of the season. It mattered because they were going for 16-0. They're going for 19-0. But it wasn't a real football game. Their eye is on the prize at this point, and a motivated New England team is just going to roll over everybody in their path, and we're going to see it again this weekend.
Oh, I'm just hoping that Phillip Rivers can beat him because you and I
love
that guy.
That would be fun.
Absolutely love that guy. Love his moxie. Coming up next on Labatt Buffalo Main Event, it is the Old Restaurant and Lounge email segment. Coming up next on Labatt Buffalo Main Event.
Short-term memory loss is something we all joke about. I forgot where I put my keys. I forgot what I wanted when I walked into the room. Those are common occurrences that happen to absolutely every person. And there's places out there that can help assess whether or not your loved one is really in the earlier stages of having a true memory impairment problem, or if it's just the routine forgetfulness that comes with day-to-day life. Bristol Village offers an exclusive memory care program, so call for help early.
Bristol Home and Bristol Village, assisted living where family matters.